Good morning, Ramon. Good morning, Team Steam. How was everyone after this, playoff weekend?
Well, there's only three football games left, Mindy, until 7 more, 8 more months. So,
Right.
I hate that always, but we have the you know big Sunday coming up, the two biggest games of the season. After we saw the results on Saturday and Sunday, we talked about Saturday, but we can talk about Sunday and what happened, and take a look at the lines for next week. We saw, Mindy, the injuries to uh, Patrick Mahomes. Certainly, we saw Pollard's injury maybe play a factor in yesterday's game.
Right.
Maybe San Francisco was still destined to win, but how will the injury for Patrick Mahomes play out? What was the discussion on the sidelines? If you're getting any feel from your region, it wasn't necessarily about going back into the game. Maybe it was the method that he was going to make it back into the game. You don't necessarily like to, get shot up in the middle of the game so you can continue. But
Right.
maybe that was the case, and that does make it a little bit more difficult to, be ready for the next game as far as treatment. Uh, I know there's a lot of doomsday scenario people out there, but my gut feel is Patrick Mahomes will make it onto the field. He finished the game. I imagine he can start the next one.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about it too, right? I mean, they come out, reports are saying that, it feels better than it looks, I guess, right? I don't know. To me, I think it's definitely going to be, a hindrance and annoyance. The same kind of thing happened last year, with the knee ankle injuries as well. So, I think he's definitely going to, tough it out. But man, that Bengals team, they look pretty good, if you ask me.
Well, you said in the Discord you thought the number would come higher, and it kind of did, and then the
Right.
money came in on the Bengals, but I just have a feeling that maybe the status of Patrick Mahomes is kind of factored into the line, and that maybe, just maybe, the line will sneak up another point or two as his status for the game becomes more apparent. Henny did a very nice job coming in there, and obviously setting a record. So we can make fun of him a little bit of his lack of success, but you know, he was primed for that situation. Certainly, you wouldn't necessarily want him for the whole game if you've got Patrick Mahomes, but he did a great job coming in, and like the guys were teasing at the end, he got it. He got a game ball for sure for his drive. So we'll see if it goes up, but. Mindy, right now, Kansas City, a 1 point favorite against Cincinnati. There are maybe some 1.5s. I also see a pick 'em out there, but basically, we're talking about a toss up next week against the Bengals. And the total may have opened up a little bit higher at some places, and maybe it's dropped, but seems pretty firm on 47.5 right now. So, is this game really going to end 24-23 next Sunday?
I think it's a fair game. You know, I mean, I think it's one of those. It will probably come down, to the wire. I don't think this game's gonna, disappoint you at all.
And over in the NFC, the Eagles, Mindy, right now about a 2.5 point favorite. They just can't seem to get it to three. I don't think we're ever going to see a three the way the Niners defense looked against Dallas, and vice versa. Give Dallas a whole lot of credit with their defense. Maybe those interceptions were the difference against Dak. He'd like to have those two throws back.
Sure.
He wasn't terrible in the game, certainly, even though for the Dak detractors, that will stand out. But the Niners really get it done in a defensive battle, the best defense in the league against another good defense. I think we were wrong, flat out wrong on the total. You felt a little differently, like maybe the offenses just didn't cash in. I was just expecting a little bit more what can I call it? Big playability from the teams, maybe. To uh, get a couple big plays in the game. That's all that I feel necessarily. I didn't expect the offenses to dominate, of course,
Right.
but given what we've seen from Dallas this year and the point production from Purdy, but it was all about defense.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think, both the teams went to the run game a little bit more than what I had anticipated. Again, right? The 49ers try to get it down the middle. And again, I feel like, maybe with Pollard being injured, that might hurt a little bit. But to me, they tried to run through that, defensive interior there for the 49ers. I think that was just trying to maybe open up that long, pass game, but it just didn't really quite happen. And again, I feel like those interceptions, I think one of those was really close to the red zone, just not being able to cash it in at times as well. So to me, 2 touchdowns instead of, 2 field goals puts that one over the over. But again, this is how, the game is played. This is why there are over-unders in games because of defenses like this. But yeah, I thought there was going to be a few more big plays as well. Didn't really get the ball to Debo at all. Had a couple nice plays to Kittle. But again, I feel like they were just really trying. Each team tried to really slow this game down and really use their defenses.
To me, it felt like Dallas had a copy of the playbook of the 49ers, the way they really were able to shut them down offensively. They were making it very uncomfortable for Purdy. They were getting in at him at different angles, certainly. And again, talk about, as successful as he has been, like I said on the show, still a rookie quarterback in there and performed admirably considering the stakes in the game. We're in looking for a berth in the
Tough,
championship.
yeah,
Here's a guy who's only played not even half of a season, still was able to get it done and get the number.
right.
So we'll see now as he has to go up against a little bit more established of a quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who certainly looked pretty solid. We already covered the Saturday games kind of on our Sunday show, so don't need you to tip your hand necessarily. The line there, Eagles 2.5, lower total, obviously. You got the 49ers, you've got the conditions. Did you think that the weather played any factor in the Buffalo Cincinnati game,
Geez,
Mindy?
but it certainly didn't look like it, right? I mean, it didn't look like it to me that it played any sort of factor. I mean, I didn't see guys like really slipping around a lot. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't. It just was to me, Allen maybe he wasn't right all year. Maybe it's still bothering him. I mean, I think he still played well. Don't get me wrong, but just missing guys, overthrowing them. That sort of thing. There was something wrong with Buffalo. We've been kind of talking about it, or maybe we're not giving that Cincinnati team enough credit. I mean, they look tough, and I think they're going to give Kansas City all they can handle. That's for sure.
Yeah, it almost seemed like Buffalo is not the team equipped to play in Buffalo. They might be a little, the type of offense that they had. Maybe they were better, not that it was not an unpleasant, day up there, certainly for that game. But, well, it did certainly kind of maybe challenge the offense a little bit, whereas Cincinnati, hey, they were also able to gash really with that running game that has
That's
been
right.
so hot and cold. We talk about sometimes they, haven't been able to run, but they, were able to get the run going. So be a great championship Sunday with 2 close games expected. I think anybody can take either team in those games. We might be seeing, you know, uh, people really like the Bengals, and it just seems like maybe a matter of the last team you see uh, type of thing. Because I don't want to necessarily count out the Chiefs. They're going to be at home in their confines, and maybe what you had said in the Discord, you thought it would come higher. Like I said, I think that you know Dak, I mean the Mahomes' injury is factored into the line, and maybe that's why it's only one. So, but it does seem like right now the majority of the action coming in on the Bengals and the Eagles, for that matter. I mean, that game opened. It certainly moved for it looks like in the direction of the Eagles. Maybe they didn't like. Maybe the public didn't like the fact that McCaffrey did not live up to his numbers in the game. And you talk about, some of the offensive woes for the 49ers yesterday. Really, who did what, right?
Right.
Type of scenario. So, like I said, the Cowboys were in their back pocket, but eventually the 49ers got the money. So great to see everyone in the chat filing in here. Numbers gang coming in as well. So let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Kind of a short show, Mindy. We've only got a handful of games: NBA, college basketball, hockey, as well as short cards. So we won't be here too long. Maybe we won't get close to our numbers with the short card, but I don't know. We'll get over to Tony's Picks. Check out the handicapper leaderboards. Hello to Dave. Hello to Corday as well. And Mindy over at Tony'sPicks.com. Well, gosh, I mean, what can we say? You and Tiffany, once again, why not just tail Mindy? We say it every day, it seems like. So Tiffany on those handicapper leaderboards, 10-3, plus 660 units yesterday. Mindy, you were 9-4 yesterday. Wow, great day. Tony 2-0. I went 2-0. Pretty simple. I had the 49ers. I had the Bengals.
And I had the 49ers and the Bengals.
Well, you had a lot more volume, so we could take a look. Those were my only two premiums. Even though I like to deal in volume, just wanted to stick with the NFL yesterday.
You had too much fish and chips yesterday to try, right? Going out on the town. How was it?
I did like the teams. I liked the card. I'm not one to come on and say, well, I just crushed the card, but didn't play premiums. I was pretty satisfied with the day overall. You've got packages locked and loaded for
I'm ready to go, yeah.
Especially on this card. I said it was a short card. You're treating it like it's Saturday.
No, it looks maybe more than what it is. It's only 6 plays here today. 4 in college basketball, 2 in the NBA. Didn't find anything I really liked. Maybe a couple leans in hockey, but we'll go over those.
Yeah, we will. Let me just note one thing before we go as well. We're talking about college and the short card. There is one write-in game. So if you're just looking at a rotation, or maybe you didn't catch it, but Northwestern will be back in action following their COVID rest. They're playing Wisconsin at a game at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, and 3:30 Pacific. And it's Wisconsin at Northwestern, a write-in game today, postponed from last week. And Northwestern is about a 3-point favorite with the total mostly about 121. I am showing one Las Vegas book, a Wise Guy book that is at 119.5. My number went a little bit higher, but I believe the numbers coming out from the books in that one. So one write-in game today to note there. And so, Minnie, yeah, you got your packages there, and take a look at your card from yesterday with wins with Thunder and Nuggets under. You had the under in the Golden Knights and Arizona game. You had the Blackhawks on that puck line. They get it done, lose by 1. You had the Bruins on the puck line, 4-0 win. There's your 49er pick. There's your over in the Knicks and the Raptors. You had the Pels. So pretty good day. Good job yesterday. Also, well, let me at least go to the bigger leaderboard a little bit. We've got to show that Team Steam did have a winning
we're still
day.
there.
Yeah.
Just didn't make the top 5.
No, 7-5. I mean, we'll take it considering we've only had 3 significant losing days so far out of 19 shows. One push day where we lost the juice. So another profitable day for Team Steam. I will mention, Mindy, that it was in the NHL again, where we went 3-0. That was off of a good weekend of plays. Certainly, we really crushed it in the NHL this weekend on
Yeah,
the
for
show.
sure. Right.
I also won my 2 video plays, basically giving me a 5-0 sweep on the card yesterday.
Heck
The 3
yeah.
games that I agreed with Mindy, and also gave out here the under in the Penguins and the Devils. Mindy, you had the Devils in that one, so we gave you a clean sweep there. Basically, let me just a clean sweep in hockey in 5 games, right? We agreed on the 3 games, and we won all 3. I had the under in Pittsburgh Devils. You had the Devils for a win. In the other game where we didn't agree, you had the Coyotes on the puck line. Of course, they upset Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's
And
correct.
I had the under in that game. So basically, yeah, that's 7-0 combined yesterday. So I know
Yeah, we
everybody's
did that
happy.
twice where we've swept the hockey card this week.
Hope everyone's happy with that. Over at Tony's Picks and here on the show. So say hello to a few more friends filing in here. Jeffrey Linton coming in. Here's Curtis. He's ready to roll, ready for some winners. Rodney Barton here as well. Matt D is here. TJ doing a great job for us in the Discord,
Right.
bringing us some great information. So good contributor there. So NBA is where we might have with just 2-2 on the NBA card yesterday with our premiums. So we got a few extra games to look at today, and yesterday in college ball we certainly had some pretty decent winners. We had the under in the Maryland and Purdue game.
Right.
I know that, right? I had Indiana in that Indiana against Michigan State as a play on the show, and we also, I believe, had another winner. Let me see here. Washington State, Mindy.
That's
Washington
right. They
State.
almost took Colorado out. It came right down to the wire.
Washington State against Colorado. We also had a clean sweep in the game between Oregon State and Cal. You gave out Oregon State, and I gave out the under. Oregon State absolutely rocked them in an under. We did the same thing with, I believe, let's see, one other one we did. Wichita State and SMU.
Right.
You gave out Wichita, and I gave out the over. And we had a clean sweep there in that one. So pretty good performance, I would say, on the show and on the show. So, all right, a few more walks this way is here. Numbers Gang giving out his winners from yesterday.
Awesome.
So, click on the All Cappers tab over at Tony's Picks to get signed up. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages. Oh, we won't show your.
I know, right? Like you don't have to do that.
Numbers Gang. But it's all about the transparency with Numbers Gang.
That's right.
Nothing you can do about the Pollard, though, Mindy. When Pollard went down, Dak looked okay. I mean, Zeke looked okay. Not probably like the Zeke we've seen most of the year. He gets a bad, because Pollard was the better back.
He's playing a role right now, and he's doing a great job of that. I mean, it looks like he's probably lost a step speed wise, but he's doing what he needs to do to get things done. I think it's great what Ezekiel has done, because I kind of felt like he's always been kind of more of a self-centered guy here in the past, and I really think he took on this role nicely. He's done a good job.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people made a lot of guff about the fact that maybe he was taking some carries from Pollard. If you got a good a good second back, you can't run these guys into the ground necessarily. Not everyone is Derrick Henry. So
Right.
Okay, we'll get to the show. Thank you everybody for the comments, and great. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, you guys are just making a bunch of money. Talk about the transparency there with Numbers Gang. Like I said, Mindy, all of our numbers are right there at Tony'sPicks.com. I'll just show them again because really just to accentuate team steam if I can for a moment, right? So yeah, 7-5 yesterday, a great day for everyone
Like
on the
number one
site.
for the week, I tell
Yeah,
you.
well, that's just it, right? So we're down there number 8 yesterday with just a small profit. And you see the deep leaderboard yesterday over at Tony's Picks. So great job by everybody. But for the last 7 days, yeah, if you're playing just to win 100 or 100 to win X on an underdog, up $1,100 playing the consensus plays, and for the month, up nearly 3,000. So that's just $100 a day. I get that, but maybe you've been pressing a little bit with even more. The way the plays have been come, I don't know. Maybe you're not playing any of them. You just enjoy it.
I play them. I enjoy it. If no one else, Ramon, I mean, you and I will do it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, maybe I should be stepping it up a little more. I get caught up in playing the whole card a lot of times too.
Right.
So I'm a degenerate here, but
Uh,
again, my best plays are at the website. My next best are with Mindy and I,
right.
and not necessarily my next best, right? I mean,
Yeah, because sometimes you give out your premiums on the show here, even.
so I take pride in the
And
fact
thank
that
you for that.
the team plays are rolling right now. So great to see everyone coming in. Ron's here as well. So, okay. So just want to accentuate that a little bit that the winning continues. So hopefully we have a good one on the show. It's going to be, I don't want to say tough. I mean, college cards a little thin.
Yeah.
Uh, let's take a look at pro basketball and get the show started if you're ready, if everybody's ready. And I don't want to leave out anything that might have happened.
No, I think we got it.
So. Okay, let's go to the NBA then. Get started on the show with the rapid fire picks. And start with the top of the board with the Boston Celtics going on to take on the Orlando Magic. Well, if you're in the Discord, I'm always going to bring you the early steam there so we don't, have to talk too much about it here in the chat. But in case you missed it, obviously the Celtics were pumped up at least 2 or 3 points, Mindy, from the opener. We're up to 232 now in this one.
Yeah, I mean, pretty crazy here how I saw all those numbers moving this morning. Like you've been throwing out numbers there on the Raptors and such. But yeah, Celtics here ranked second in points, scoring 119. Magic's been giving up about 138 here, especially in their loss last time out here to the Wizards. But they do score on average about 118 over 12, 2-2 Celtics last 16 games. And the Magic is 6-1 to the over in the last 7. I'm going to take over the total here today, Ramon.
All right, fair enough on that. I do think that the tax here on some of these totals is getting a little uncomfortable for me. So I also would lean over, but not now at this. Even just the fact that this one has creeped up just a little bit, I think it is significant enough in my window that I can't do it now. Just reached the past my window in this game. I have a bit of a letdown spot here for the Celtics against the Magic. Look, I get it. They are the far better team here, but they don't necessarily get all their numbers on the road. Talking about the Boston Celtics, they're really just a 500 proposition for the most part against the spread in general this season. And you have an Orlando team that certainly knows how to get the money. 24-15 as an underdog, 14-9 as an underdog at home. I'm going to be on the Magic here, plus these points. I'm going to go against the going against the chat. It looks like here, although Ron looks like. Everybody's going to be on Boston here. It looks like Mindy, and that's okay. I'll be on my own in this one. But Boston, like I said, they're 50-50 proposition pretty much at covering. Orlando is a cover. I mean, they are one of the more decent covers right now, especially getting the points at home. It's just a good situation. So, if anything, take a look. The number has gone in the direction of the Magic. In fact, though, I am starting to see some 8s pop up here across the board, actually. So I don't know what the indication is there on that, but if there's been some news that has come out, but I'm showing now going back up to 8. We know Tatum is back in today, so and but Williams is actually questionable. Uh, so I don't know. All right, Steam coming in right now, everybody, on a game on
Uh-oh.
college ball, Oakland and Detroit. They're steaming this one over right now, going over 152. This looks like the Oakland team of the past, if you will. When Oakland, remember, just a few years ago, Oakland was scoring out of their mind, and then they've actually been normal over the last few years. But Oakland right now, they're steaming it over 152.5 in college ball. So just to throw that one out there. Oh, also Baylor just got steamed in their big game. We're going to preview that one, but they got steamed up a little bit from 2 up now towards, I want to say, let's see if we can get it at 2.5. Yeah, it hasn't moved too dramatically, but they did take some steam within the last couple of minutes. So, anyways, Mindy, let's see some few more comments here. I do have Rodney with me. Percent better though is going to be on Boston. So Rodney says, that's what I'm I have this as a letdown. It's not, about other than the fact that again, I've stuck with Orlando. I was on them early, Mindy. I
Right.
don't have them winning the championship or anything, but I mean, it's a team that I've wanted to ride all season long. They've rewarded me with the covers, certainly. So Ron Hunt is absolutely just
Just crush.
yeah, no, I get it. I mean, if it was a game where it felt like this was a motivating spot, of course I'm going to be on there. But no, let's see, John Isaac is still out indefinitely. I don't think he's ready to return yet. So yep.
Got a couple more there, Ramon.
Picks.
Yeah.
Okay,
oh, you might be getting it.
No, I was a little backed up there, I think. There were some salutations here. TJ is going to be with me. Scotch is with me. Okay, I see. Yeah, so maybe there is some discrepancy there in the chat. So Ron, very insistent on this one. And like I said, it is back up to 8 now. So my narrative about, and how I always look for those subtle moves towards a dog like that. But I do respect this move back to 8 right now. Maybe it's not like the Tatum news broke. I mean, I think we were expecting him back all the way. So again, I just have it as a letdown spot. Taiwan Berry said it right there. They played 2 games back. Remember, back to back. In Boston in December, and Orlando did win both those games. So maybe you're onto my secrets a little bit there. I just think that when you have a game where it is a little bit of a mismatch, but the worst team does have wins on the road against that team, and they are excellent, as far as getting the numbers, I like that. Okay, percent better. Great. Well, that's going to be great news to see Jonathan back in the lineup. So I just was going off the injury reports that I'm privy to. I don't have it looks like more of a holier insight.
Right.
But would be great to see him back. But my understanding was out indefinitely is not going to be able to, necessarily come back in just a few days time. So okay, Mindy, so we got 2 picks in that one, and no consensus, but okay. Well, the Bucks and the Pistons here, another blowout potential here with the Bucks on the road, favored by 11, and this total's gone up to 235.
Well, I was going to look at the total here. Both these teams are scoring in the mid, teens, 112 perhaps. Bucks, though, sometimes they put up like the 100, like the Pelicans did yesterday. Under 6-1, the Bucks last 7 versus a team with a losing record. Under also 6-1 the last 7 here between these two. I'm going to go ahead and take the under 235.
Yeah, you know what, Mindy? I mean, on the surface, because these two teams, you think of Detroit and their poor defense, and they do go over at home quite a bit, 14-9. But the Bucks, when they go on the road, they can stymie you. And I look at this total now, 235.
Oh,
That's
wow.
that is, kind of for me,
Started
way
at
out of the range
232. Yeah.
on this one. Percent better is with us. I mean, the Pistons are going to have to come up with a big game to be able to get this one to go over, much less cover, I would think, in this one. So, um, Ron says he wants to lay the points here in this one. Jeffrey Linton says caution, because of this line move here. But now I'm showing back at 11. I think that's the game that the line you're looking at. I think everyone, it's going to be 11. But yeah, the total's just gone too high. I would think on the surface, I would think that they could carry a total like that. I tell you, if it was if it was like a 228, I probably would go over. But at 235, I mean, that's the fine line with the NBA. I mean, it's hard, right? I mean, to pick the over under. Sometimes, it does get right there. So
Yeah, that's right. Because
yeah,
last night it was that Nets game, right? I had the,
I didn't get there.
yeah, well, I mean, I had the total in that one and then it went over by 1,
Oh, see,
so,
I got a
or it
crummy.
was a half a point, right?
No, I got a crummy line because you're just a more skillful market reader than I am, and I actually lost the total in that one because
No, I lost the total as well. I had
Oh,
it going
okay.
under and it went over by a half a point.
Oh, see, I had it going over and I lost because I got to work. Then bad job by both of us. We
Right.
shouldn't
They
even
hit
be
right there in
allowed
the
to do
middle.
a show like this. We both lost on the total by getting the worst of the line. Does anybody want to just come on the show and take over? Mindy and I need to go sit in the corner with our dunce hats on. We couldn't. We both lost on a total that
Oh.
if we would have taken
At the best times,
if
yes.
we would have taken each other's number, we would have won.
Yeah. Why
How
didn't
does
we do
that
that?
work? This is a dumb league. Okay, it's not. It's a great league for betting. Anyways, of course, that man, he's he should have his own network. I mean, at this point, I mean, come on. We'll get to the Nevada game today, Thurman. Good to see you, Mindy. So you're on the under, so am I. I think it's just gone too high. That steam took it over. It's just one of those that the rent's too damn high. I've got to
Right.
go under now in this one with these two teams. If Detroit comes out and plays one of their better games of the season and makes it very competitive, we're done. We're doomed. We're doomed. But I just don't see that being the case. I don't necessarily say it's a letdown for Milwaukee. So, all right. Well, keep on telling, Ron. Just keep on. I mean, look, you've been a great contributor, very respectful. That's the one thing. I mean, unfortunately for our friend, I mean, you can be a little bit eccentric or outrageous, but I don't know if that's necessarily the Tony style. So with you, Ron, might just work out. So keep on plugging away with us. We'd love to have you. And who knows? Once I get that night show going, it might involve, since none of our handicappers, I mean, are they even real people? I say it in jest. Of course, I know these are real people, and we do have a couple of our guys that do some videos now and then. But again, we're looking for people who want to come on and do content, and so that's important. So maybe send some content to them and to have them just take a look, because I'm trying to get a show together, and none of our cappers are willing to come on a night show. We're going to look for, and that's Fuzzy. That's just it. We have enough guys that aren't doing videos. We're looking for content contributors, I believe. I
Correct.
can't speak for the GM. I can't speak for Tony, but unfortunately, I mean, hey, our cappers do.
Yeah,
A
and
great
you have to show your record. That's another thing.
Yeah, well,
A lot of guys are like, "Well, I'll come on, but I don't want to show my record."
hi, Angel. Welcome. Good to see you. All right, so Mindy, we got to play here for sure, and it's going to be on the under. And like I said, my original when I wrote down, what I was looking at, and I looked at my numbers, I was like, hey, this looks like it's going to be an over for me. If it's coming in high 220s, I'm going to go over at 235. Makes all the difference in the world. Got to be honest with you. We're going under. So, yep, we always post our record.
Yep.
And that's the way it has to be. We love it. Okay, Timberwolves and Rockets are going to meet here, Mindy, in this one. I'm showing right now the Timberwolves 5.5. This one's down to 234. Took some steam under for sure.
Yeah, and again, that's the way that I was headed. So, I saw that come in here this morning. Your plays that you put out there on the, steam on the Rockets. Timberwolves here are ranked 11th in scoring at 115 points per game. Rockets 28th in scoring 110. Timberwolves and Rockets only scored, 217 total there, and the last one out under 4-1. Timberwolves last 5. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under here still.
Well, we saw these teams in action certainly just a couple of nights ago in Minnesota, and Minnesota won again. They just barely got the number, so they've won and covered 3 of those in that winning streak that they have right now over the Rockets. So Mindy going to be on the under in this one now that it has continued to dip down, but I don't know. To me, I'm uncomfortable that way too because look at what I think the send out was closer to 240. So the send out 239 and a half.
239 and a half, yeah.
You look at the numbers and these. I mean, these teams don't necessarily go over too much. Now they probably are 50-50 one way or the other. So we're getting Ron turned on to these totals. That's cool. So probably not even agreeing with you, Mindy. I'm not going to go opposite though in this one, just because, like I said, right now to me it's just moved maybe too far off of what I was looking at. So I'm probably going to be the other way in this one. So tough to back Houston here right now. They've been just dreadful against the spread, 1-9 in their last 10. But Minnesota, they've been covering better of late. But they're not necessarily a great cover. And the line, quite frankly, has moved in the direction of Houston in this game. Minnesota opened generally around 6 or 6.5. It's now just 5.5. I don't, that's not some overwhelming push on the numbers, but I'm going to actually go with Houston in this one. I've got Houston as the spot. The trends would definitely say Minnesota here. Houston has been dreadful. I'm taking Houston today, plus 5.5. Not feeling great about this game, but don't want it. I don't think it's a Minnesota blowout spot. I know that a lot of you are probably going to be on Minnesota here. It does look like Scotch is on Minnesota. Hey, Baller is here. Hello to Baller. Mindy, say hi to Baller joining us for the first time in our chat. Hopefully you've been sticking around. Ron leans. I think that's a lean for Ron, but not touching the game. Angels with me in this one. It's going to be tough to sell anybody on the Rockets here because, they're not covering anything at all. They've been falling apart. They've, lost. They're on a long losing streak right now. But to me, I have this as the spot. So, no, Corday, the send out numbers are basically line services sending out, yes, sports books might have their own department and that's what they get, but they often rely on a couple of major line services to get an initial number that they can work off of. Everybody's got their power ratings and whatnot. So the send out is really just a recommendation to sports books from basically the top line service in the country. So And Ron likes to go the alternative universe now and then. All right, Mindy. So I'm going to be
Yeah.
on the Rockets here on the show. The steam came in on the Rockets, by the way.
Right.
The widely reported steam.
That's what it went from 6.5 to 5.5 when I looked at it, right?
Yeah, tough to back Houston here. I can't even sell you on it necessarily. Minnesota's playing a lot better of late, and they weren't getting numbers very much. But
so you're saying this is a recommendation?
It's a free play here, But again, thanks, John. That's really cool. Yeah. Well, that's what it is. I mean, that's what my picks are based on. Is more or less like I always like to say, Mindy, the human algorithm, because not everybody wakes up in the morning feeling perky. If you know what I mean. So Jeffrey also wants to be with Mindy in this one on the under, it looks like. Tony Livernesi is here today, and he's got Minnesota covering this one in the first half. I'm still down a little bit on Minnesota. I mean, they have done better of late, but again, the way that team has been, we've kind of made fun of them for the terrible trade and all that.
Are they wearing green uniforms tonight? They do well if they play in green.
I love those green uniforms. You know that. Okay, the Hawks and the Bulls. Scotch can give us an update here. I'm showing the Bulls are now the 1-point favorite, Mindy, and 238.5. I'm showing the Bulls the favorite here.
Yeah, I saw some chatter in the Discord room this morning, and I like the Bulls too. That's kind of what they were saying. Hey, do we like the Bulls today? They're 5-1 against the spread versus the Hawks. Since the start of the 2021 season, Bulls have won 2 in a row. Putting up 130 in those 2 games, 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 here. I like the Bulls today.
I like the Bulls here today. Angel Reyes does like the Hawks. I'm not feeling this recent Hawks surge when I say surge, I'm really just talking about it seems like the Sharps have been kind of rolling with Atlanta lately. Scotch does say he does like the Bulls. So Angel talks about this, talks about the revenge spot from a couple of nights ago. The Bulls got the win in Atlanta, 110 to 108. Chicago was a 5-point underdog in that one. So maybe that's what they're seeing. Here's percent better says Bulls and over. Mindy and I are going to be on the Bulls in this one. Look, I just don't think the Hawks have graduated to the level that maybe they're being placed at right now with some of these numbers. When I see them go on the road favored against some of these teams, I have my concerns. I still kind of like the Bulls in certain situations. Dave says the defense has been poor. This is a number. What I say it was at now 238.5. This is one where I do not mind going over necessarily. So Latifah made it as well. So Angel does say Hawks trash on the road, but they are just 11-13 straight up on the road. So Scotch talks about the Bulls and their injury report here as looking positive for today. Dragic is going to be questionable. So, but I like the Bulls. Mindy, you like the Bulls. So
we like the Bulls.
They've covered 7 of their last 10, and Atlanta's just 10-14 against the spread on the road. We're mostly looking money line here because of how close it is. So.
Right. Yep, we'll take it on the money line.
We hope Latifah is okay.
Yeah, the Cowboys, did a number on the Cowboys Nation.
Okay. Oh, good. Well, I don't want to say good like that, but
that's what it was.
I thought it was more of a personal situation, and Latifah probably is, but good to see her here. Corday, Bulls and Pistons are a fade because of the
Batman is now baller.
Playing in Paris. Fuzzy Kong Bulls should be good to go here. Gerardo's here today. Nice to see Gerardo. Latifah was partying with the game and probably took it up a notch after the loss.
Right. Too much wine.
Stick around, baller. You'll find out who's outrageous around here. So, yeah, Fuzzy. They played. There was a game in Paris a couple of days ago. Pistons were over there. All right, everyone's saying hi. So I think we've caught. Oh, here's one Fuzzy Hawks win. So it looks like the chat is split, Mindy, but we're gonna be on the Bulls here.
Some banana cognac. Latifa.
Hornets and Jazz. The Jazz are gonna be favored here by 7.5, and the total is ticked up to 238.
Hornets and Jazz, huh? I'm going to go ahead and take the Hornets here in this one with the plus points. They finally won or got us some wins here with the spread here as of late. Won their last two games, 122 over those last couple there. Jazz only scoring 116 over their last two. Hornets 4-0-1 in the last 5 road games. Versus that team with the winning record. I think they can get it done here again today versus the Jazz. Even though the Jazz had a pretty big outing here last time out, I like the Hornets today.
So does Angel Reyes. He likes the Hornets today on the road against Utah. We know that both teams can give it up a little bit on defense. Ron Hahn says Jazz and over. He likes the Jazz, but he also likes the over here in this one. Nathan Cerna is with us today, and he's on the Hornets here. Kind of tough, right? Sometimes because the Hornets have been so bad, but Utah is still just barely 500. Actually, I think they're under 500 now. So, let's see anything more. Looks like TJ. Looks like he says Hornets here as well. They are here. The Hornets are terrible at home against the spread, but they're 15-10 against the spread on the road. I like the Hornets in this one. I like the Hornets taking these points. I don't see a blowout here. Percent better, and I see this one as usual. It looks like we're on the exact same page. I'm finding myself and percent better are kind of maybe I just like his handle. It sounds like something I'm a percent better. I feel like I'm a percent better. Maybe if I could just be a percent better, I'd be better. So I want Hornets in this one with Mindy. We'll take our third play out of 5 here. We're feeling pretty good. So Corday wondering maybe about the injury situation with LaMelo today. Questionable. So I think that's probably a decent sign. Don't necessarily know if that means in. We know Oubre is still out. It's been 3 weeks now with that. I think it was a broken hand, if I'm not mistaken. Kelly Olynyk still out indefinitely. So, but what can you say? Hornets, like I said, on the road, butterscotch against us. Minnie's got a blowout, and Fuzzy also on the Jazz. So I think we're a little bit in the minority here in this one. But we're on the Hornets. I just like them against the number. Jazz a good cover as well, except in one particular role, 7-14 against the spread as a favorite. So let's take the Hornets here. Spurs and Trailblazers. Trailblazers -8, and this totals 240.
So Ramon, what happened with the Lakers and the Trailblazers last night? What a wild one. You know what? Trailblazers winning by like 30 at half, and then, here comes the Lakers suddenly. That was pretty wild. I don't know how the Trailblazers going to do in this one. Might have took a lot out of them there, especially, seeing how that all played out here. Trailblazers have lost 3 in a row now. Scoring 106 over those 3. Spurs scoring 117 over their last 3 here as well. Taking the Spurs today, +8. I'll give them a shot here in this one. Spurs 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 here. Spurs 5-1 in the last 6 following an ATS win. I'll take the Spurs on the points.
I don't think it will affect them as much. I think the Blazers might actually feel like now they gotta owe it, even on the back to back because of what happened. So percent better though is with you in this one. Ron's got it as a bounce back, maybe as expected. You got two sets of opinions here because of what happened. So, all right, thank you, baller.
AKA Batman.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah.
Of course, I can. I should be able to
Like,
read into all
yeah,
of
I
these.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Just has to keep changing it up on us. The real.
I should have. I should have realized. Well, that's okay. I mean, his days are numbered to a certain extent. Uh, Not as as our friend, but I mean, it was a self-destructive path like this. I mean, James, look at the comments. All right, Nathan, full game Spurs. There it looks like they're with you here, but I'm against you. I think in this one. I mean, I'm gonna go to the total certainly here,
Sounds
but
good.
just showing these comments here. So yeah.
Lowdy.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the Blazers they were able to get out to a strong enough start. So what we saw was when I talk about the Lakers, right, Mindy, more often than not, I'm talking more about Thomas Bryant every time, more so than
He's
oh,
getting it done, isn't he?
Russ or anybody else on the roster. I mean, right now, when the players are on the floor, Thomas Bryant is the number two man, I would
That's
think,
right.
and he was just awesome in that he was the man that spurred the comeback yesterday. He was King James in disguise, the way he was playing, just outrageous. Man, he really was doing well. So uh, here it is. It does go over. Rodney, mark it down from me. Ramon Scott says take the over in this one. We're going 245 at least here, I would think, in this one. I hate these big totals, but the steam came over. You look at these teams in general, Mindy, especially the Spurs. They've gone only under in just two of their last 10 games. They're 13-6 to the over on the road. I meant to say over. Did I say over? I meant over. And Portland is 12-8 to the over at home, even though they've been going a bit under of late. I think against an inferior opponent like this one ends up going over. So I'm going over, and Mindy is on the Spurs in this one. All right, one more here. A pretty good game out west. The featured. I'll call it the best game on the card, Mindy. I think you might as well. The Grizzlies and the Kings. The
Sure.
Grizzlies are a 1 point favorite, and the total's 245.5.
Well, I'm going to go with the Grizzlies here. They're 5-1 against the spread versus these Kings since the start of the 2021 season here. Grizzlies, have the advantage here again on the boards. Number one in rebounding here this season. Kings ranked 25th. Grizzlies 4-1 against the spread the last 5 road games here as well. I really like the Grizzlies in the spot today.
Angels on the Grizzlies. Numbers game doesn't like the line today. He'll take the Grizzlies anyways. He doesn't mind. I don't know. I'm favoring the Kings, I think, in this one. So I'm going to look to another outrageously high scoring game. I like it over in this one, Mindy. I'm going to take the over. For me, I mean, the Grizzlies do struggle on the road as on the money line. Look, they are just 11-10 straight up on the road. So, and 8-14 against the spread, which I guess is almost the same thing to a certain extent because we know they've been a terrific favorite at home. So, Angels saying maybe do they look, but you can't look past the Sacramento Kings right now. So I see what you're saying there. So, Mindy, I'm going to be on the over. I got a 250 here for sure with these two teams tonight. Steam came in on the over. I'm on the over. Mindy is on Memphis here. Scotch is on the Kings. Angel might take the Kings. Looks like maybe they're kind of filing in with what I was thinking more. You know, can't you know Memphis is great too. Big game out west. I mean, look, you got two teams with very strong records. We talk about these teams, uh, and one thing I kept forgetting was when I talk about the young teams out west and how they're doing. Maybe I was leaving out. Who was I leaving out? Sacramento, Memphis, New Orleans, and we know Denver, but I don't know what you might call them anymore. They're kind of more of a veteran team, I would think. So Scott says Memphis on the road. Who am I forgetting, you guys, that are the young? There's one more young team out west that I think has been looking strong. So I don't know about Grizzlies overrate. I mean, at this point, 31-15. Like I said, I'm not on them here, but and I know that Dave was giving me the business about calling him unlikable. I mean,
Right.
he's one of the experts there. I was just reiterating kind of what I think what fans who are outside of Memphis feel about Memphis. I what do I call cocky, confident? Those are the same things sometimes. So the Pelicans, of course. Yeah. All right. So we got our plays, Mindy.
We got them. We got three back.
Gotta think of.
That's good since I only came up with 2 plays. So
okay.
I like having more.
Well, I understand, and I mean these totals, they're all over the place today. So maybe some, people will find value in that. I'm kind of giving out some free ones here because maybe I'm not getting the best in some of those overs, and you know how I despise overs, but I got to go with the numbers of 2. I got to go with my numbers saying over. I'm probably trying to find a way to play the over, so giving them out on the show. You mentioned some of the steam there, and don't forget when I post that steam, everybody in the Discord. Those are not selections by me. I'm just reporting some news. Basically, what I feel, what the line service has reported. I pay for the line service, and I want to pass that information along as quickly to you guys as I can. So all that is the line service reporting the major move. And of course, we showed an example on the show last week about steam. Some people were wondering what is the true definition of it, and it's really just a coordinated market move that the line is moving at multiple books at once, usually in accordance to action being spread across the market by a syndicate, or sometimes a major service can release a play. Anybody who's seen YouTube can see those examples with a couple of high-profile handicappers where they get everybody into a YouTube chat and they say, this happened during the football season. We've watched examples, Mindy, where they say, okay, we're going to look at this game right now. We're going to look at a total over, and then they announce the game, and everyone starts betting on it, and they show the odds live on the screen, and you could see it in real time because you could only imagine with usually a couple hundred people in this YouTube chat room all betting on the game, trying to get this best number, and by the time, 90 seconds, 2 minutes has gone up. The line's gone up by 2 points because of a major service, quite frankly, a handicapping service. So, I know that, sometimes they make fun of us touts, but there it is. There are services respectable enough that they can get a bunch of people in a YouTube chat room, say exactly what their play is, and move that line 1 or 2 points on a college game, moving world markets with just a few, probably just a few hundred people betting at once. So that also is a way. And this you see all the time right now with some of these, good services, if you will, because they send it out in a Discord, for example, or a Telegram chat type of thing. So, yeah, well, it's great when you do baller, but a lot of times people respect you more if you give out the plays before the game starts. That's always important too. So yeah, and when you do pay for a tout, you've also got to factor in their fees. So again, I mean, there are a lot of
We've never lied about unit size ever. So it's it's crazy. We've told you 100 times that it's all of our scoring is based off of $100 units. And you could go back and look every day. We give you the picks on Morning Steam. You could go back and look to see what Morning Steam had made on those per unit plays, right? I mean, again, if you want your unit to be $10, you can say, okay, instead of being up, 2,300 units, you're up 233 units. So it's either way you want to play this.
Yeah, well, I just say his days are numbered because you know who's gonna. I mean, and it's tough because then you got to keep. It's funny because I got called out on the first 1 or 2 days about spamming the chat room, and I actually was made the suggestion about starting a Discord, and I was accused of spamming the chat room on the first day of the chat. But then again, we've got some people posting some of stuff like this, and you wonder what the mods. I'm looking right at you, mods. What they're thinking because I'm totally transparent. I was on another show on Thursday night, promoting our site, talking about Tony's picks, talking about our handicappers and things like that, and being accused of spamming the room. But yet here we have Baller, who all we know now, thanks to Mindy calling that out. But yeah, I mean, just quite frankly, a joke. So he'll be moving on. I mean, he's not going to want to, stick around with us. I mean, we're all very sophisticated handicappers here, taking this very seriously. So, Baller is Batman, Latifa. Come on.
Yeah.
So, and again, we've tried. It's not even entertaining, quite frankly. I mean, I like the song; that was cool, but no doubt about it. Again, all of our plays, right there, no doubt about it.
And Tony's like the most honorable guy that you guys could ever know. That's what's so crazy, right? I mean, and everyone knows that he's been on the air a long time now.
Yeah. So, it's up to you, man. Just, I guess this is the only place who'd take him. So, all right.
Stick around or move on. It's up to, it's up to you. So, we're out here doing our best, giving you guys information. We have a proven record of a winning strategy, and, we're trying to just pass that on to folks. If it's for you, awesome. If it's not for you, then that's okay too, right? So I feel like we're starting to give them, too much time.
Well, I end up having to make it clear for anybody in the chat who might be reading this, rather than boot him because he hasn't been rude or disrespectful. Like I said, you kind of can talk about all, bad plays and things like that. No attacks yet. So I feel I have to defend the record, even though it speaks for itself. So. That's right, Dave. I mean, everybody's unit size is different, so that's why we do it the way we do. So
it's simple, $100 bets. It's based off of that.
Measurable. So,
and each bet is every bet is one bet, or every bet is one unit. So yeah. All right.
Well, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
I'll keep going on. I'll keep going off. I mean. Here's a guy, who wants to, come in, slide into your DMs and be all buddy, and then, pull this kind of crap, very disrespectful. I mean, all right. All right, let's move on and get to college basketball. Maybe I'm just prolonging because I'm not thrilled about the college basketball today. These games aren't the best. We do have Duke playing today. Like I said, we do have that right-in game, certainly. So Duke and Virginia Tech here, Mindy, in this one. It's, Virginia Tech at home being a favorite here. What happened? What has happened, Duke? Virginia Tech 2.5, 137.
Yeah, I mean, I like Duke here at the plus 2.5. Virginia Tech for me just doesn't score enough points, and have been on the defensive side, just allowing too many here to their opponents. I know, Duke is not covering the spread. I get that. They're 0-4, but Virginia Tech isn't exactly doing, great things on their side at home either, only being 5-5 and only 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. And if you look, 0-7 against the spread in their last 7 here overall. Taking Duke.
All right, Mindy, you're going to take Duke. I have plenty of issues right now with Duke. Granted, they're in a dog role, so if anything, hey, that's some respect right there, or maybe disrespect of the Dukies at this point, given what they're up to. I mean, they've only played 4 true road games and went 1-3, and Virginia Tech is 8-2 straight up at home. So maybe this is a spot. Virginia Tech's not very good at covering numbers either, but Duke has been pretty bad of late. They've covered just 2 out of their last 10, 1 out of 8 on the away from home. So I don't know. I think for me, I'm going to have to look to the total. I'm going to go under in this one with these clubs. You have Duke as 1-7 to the under on the road. Virginia Tech's 5-8 to the under at home. So for me, I'm going to take the under in this one, especially 137. Not too thrilled about that. My window went a little bit higher, but I didn't think it was ever going to get there. So I'm going to go with the under in this one. And Mindy's going to be on Duke. Anything from the chat here? Okay, no. Oh, there's one. Virginia Tech. Yep, no doubt about it right now. I mean, these, both teams kind of having their issues, but Virginia Tech's on that long losing streak right now. They did cover their last game finally against Clemson, so maybe they have some. Here's Butterscotch on Duke. Here's Fuzzy on Duke. So, all right, let's just take care of this once and for all. Oh, shoot. All right. All right. Colgate and BU. Colgate here is favored in this one, Mindy. Colgate is 7.5 now. What? Colgate's taking big time action here. Total 142.5.
Yeah, I mean, I like Colgate here in this spot. They've been averaging, about 9 points more here than their opponent in the stage. Colgate 5-5 on the road, 4-3 here for Boston. It's also one of these. The road team in this matchup, head to head, the last 10 meetings is 7-3 against the spread. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take Colgate here, -7.5.
All right, Mindy's going to be on Colgate in this one. And man, are they taking big time action? I'm not going to be. I don't know if I can get on Colgate here right now. I don't know. It's not necessarily out of my range for Colgate with this number, but I'm going to prefer the over. I can't lay these points on the road here with Colgate. And yeah. BU is okay against the number. Colgate just covered 3 out of their last 10. BU 6-2 at home. Colgate, the better team, the better record, but laying points on the road here, just not sure about that. So I'm going to go over 142.5. Probably a premium for me, but I'm going to pivot here, and I'm going to go over. You got BU 6-2 to the over at home. Colgate 13-7 to the over overall this season. Twan's with me here. Fuzzy's on Colgate as well. So, all right. Bindy's on Colgate. I'm on the over. Let's try to find a consensus play here with Florida A&M and Jackson State. All right. In this one, I'm showing Mindy. This is the last game on the rotation anyway. And Jackson State's a pretty big favorite. They're favored by 12.5. The total 131.
Yeah, again, some chatter in Discord. This was by request here.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking Florida A&M and the plus 12.5 points here in this one. It's one of those like, Jackson, they've been putting up about 69 points while allowing, about 10 more than that here as of late. I have Jackson State kind of winning this one here by 3, but they're 1-2 at home versus the spread. Florida A&M 8-4 on the road. They don't win straight up as they're 0-12, but they do tend to cover these spreads. So I'll take Florida A&M and big points here.
All right, Mindy. Yeah, okay, I'm down. I mean, let's take an ugly one here and take Florida A&M by request. Yes, Florida A&M. Look, we know that both teams are bad. They're combined 8-28. They're 0-12 on the road. We're getting double digits here. Yes, Jackson State's won every home game. They haven't played very many home games, but Florida A&M, they've covered some numbers. They're 8-4 against the spread on the road, and we're getting 12.5 points. I'm down with it. Let's take the Rattlers in this one.
Go Rattlers!
Oh boy, I'm on the Rattlers here. Take Florida A&M in this one. Boy,
here we go, Ramon.
Are you sure they weren't troll? Okay, Jackson State for percent better. Nathan Cerner the other way. So, all right, Mindy. Well, I don't know. Are you sure we weren't being trolled by handicapping that game?
No, I don't think so.
All right. No, where every game's a possibility, and I really like the total.
There you go.
So, all right. Next up, let's take a look now at the next one here. Oh, now we're back to some other games. Kansas and Baylor here in this one, Mindy, and I'm showing Baylor -2, total 149.
Yeah, I kind of have a Baylor here with a 4-point victory. That's kind of where my numbers are pretty steady. Kansas have been having trouble on defense. They're 3-1, away here. Baylor's 5-5 at home. KU's 0-4 against the spread the last 4 overall. Baylor 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 games overall. Should be a good one here. I like Baylor at home. Kansas just haven't been quite covering for me. Kind of been on their side quite a few times here and kind of haven't got the best of with Kansas. So I'm taking Baylor.
All right, Mindy, Baylor it is for me as well. There's definitely something wrong with Kansas, and if they're going to go on the road here, I don't necessarily know if this is the spot. I mean, Baylor hasn't been, as terrific either, but they're still 8-2 straight up at home. Kansas got that 16-3 record, but lost that game at home last time out, of course, to TCU. They lost to Kansas State before that. They've now failed 4 straight. So until they kind of turn, they're in a downward trend. Let's just call it like it is, I would think at this point. Here's Dave with Baylor. Here's Numbers Gang with Baylor. Percent better does say under. I'm right in line.
Yeah, I was good on that over under. I couldn't come up with anything good that for me. So go ahead. Sorry.
No. Again, I think it more just comes to me more the idea.
It's like right on the line kind of thing.
Team kind of trend over a little bit. So Fuzzy says Kansas needs a bounce back here the way they've been playing. So percent better says they're not shooting well from 3. So I'm going to have to go here on the Baylor Bears with Mindy. Let's get a premium consensus there as well. So we got a couple of games.
Up to 5 consensus plays. So we'll see. It's Monday, so Kansas will win. Funny.
Yep. All right.
I love days of the week trends.
Yeah, there's a place for them certainly, and I think sometimes it has to do with because we know sometimes the way the leagues kind of stack their games a little bit too. The weekends can mean something. The Fridays for some of those teams, they play Friday, Sunday a lot of times. Let's look at New Mexico and Nevada. in a pretty hot game tonight. Certainly, maybe this is a better game than Kansas and Baylor, considering the stakes right now with these two teams. Kansas Baylor is big for them as well, but this is a nice game against teams that know how to cover the spread. So right now I'm showing in this one it's Nevada -3.5, 146.5.
Yeah, I mean, this may turn out to be, a really nice one, like you said. I mean, both of these teams are nearly like identical if you look at them with offensive and defensive efficiencies where they line up. It's just one for me. I think New Mexico has maybe a little bit hotter hand here as of late. They've been scoring more in their last 3 to 5 games, playing better defense in their last 3 to 5 games. Road teams also 4-1 in this matchup here head to head. I'm going to take New Mexico on the plus points.
All right, Mindy, it'll be on the Lobos here. Definitely doing pretty well. Nevada's definitely doing really well. 7-1-1 against the spread at home. 10-2-1 as a favorite. While New Mexico just 3-3 against the spread on the road. But again, a great game between teams with good records. New Mexico 18-2, Nevada 15-5 straight up. So this is a big game in the conference, certainly right now. If you look where these two teams are, in the standings, still looking up now at 1 loss, San Diego State, New Mexico with 2 losses, Nevada with 2 losses as well. So I'm going to go over in this one, Mindy. I feel like this one is going to be a very high scoring game. I have to get it above 147.5, but you have two teams that are really going over of late. Nevada 8-2 to the over in their last 10. New Mexico 7-3 to the over in their last 10. So that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going over in this game with New Mexico and Nevada. Percent bettors on New Mexico here. Fuzzy Kong Balls is on New Mexico. So, all right, let's do it. Let's go. Mindy's on New Mexico and I'm on the over. Oh boy! Now, were there any requests, Mindy, other than those?
No, that was it. It seems like it was this New Mexico, Nevada there in the chat. I guess there was maybe a mention of Wisconsin, but that was about it.
Okay, but nothing really hardcore requesty.
Correct.
All right. We can go to hockey then and see if we can continue our role in hockey with this 4-game card today. Let's take a look and open it up with the Islanders and the Maple Leafs. All right. In this one, I'm showing right now the Leafs obviously going to be a pretty big favorite here, minus 230. Let's see if that's a current number. I thought we might have seen some movement. I'm showing right now 230, 6 under 15, just like it says.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the under here. 7-2 Islanders last 9 overall. 4-1 Maple Leafs last 5 home games here, head to head. Under 4-0-1 the last 5. I'll try the under 6 in this one.
All right, yeah, we're looking at the 6 here. I get it, but I'm willing to go under in this one as well with the Islanders and the Leafs. So just, I don't know, get cocky, mark it down as a winner. We can't seem to miss this week in hockey. So I like it to go under as well. Toronto 8-16 to the under at home right now. Islanders don't trend under as much, but I would think in this spot against the Leafs going into play Toronto as a big underdog, that does sound like an under to me. So percent better also wants to go under in this one. So let's go under. Islanders and Maple Leafs under the 6 here today. All right. Got to feel good right now for agreeing on hockey games. All right, next up, we're going to take a look at Panthers and the Rangers. And the Rangers are they're down to $1.30, so the Panthers look to be taking some action here. 6.5 over 15.
Yeah, I like the Rangers here. They are third in goals still. Panthers ranked 24th, not getting any in the net here as of late. Rangers should get, I think, plenty of power play opportunities in this one. Panthers ranked, 31st in penalty minutes. Rangers 5-1 their last 6 Monday games, Ramon. I throw it out there because I think it's funny. I like the Rangers.
Okay, I'll be on it with you. I think we're getting close to my number now, especially if we've lopped off a good 5 or 10 cents off of it. Not that I would have changed my mind anyways. I'm on the Rangers here, I think, with you. I think with Shesterkin too. Don't forget what I keep saying. I mean, remember we were paying 5.5. I know we're playing the Florida Panthers. I mean, I get that.
Right.
Every game is supposed to be 7 goals, but here's the thing, right? We know the Panthers keep having these high totals because of their, poor defense. They can score a little bit. You understand all that, right? Well, look, there's still a team that kind of trends to the under a little bit, and you're going up against one of the more solid under teams around. So I'm not giving out the total with you guys. I'm just saying you got Florida. Despite 20 being 26-20 to the over, they are just 13-12-2 to the over on the road, 4-7 to the over as an underdog. So 4-7 to the under. I'm sorry, as an underdog. So Dave points out an interesting point here, covering the puck line in those matchups. So yeah, I don't know if I would trust the rain. I can't trust the Panthers on the puck line though in this one. I guess they can maybe they can stay within a goal. They're 4-7 as a puck line dog, and they're minus 212. That doesn't sound like something I could ever get behind. So Fuzzy sounds like he likes the over, but I don't know. I mean, to me,
Yeah, I
like I said,
tend to tick to the under as well.
I can get the Rangers in a 6.5 game. Even like I said, Florida, they always have these high totals right now, and they still don't always go over.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Looks like lots of folks like the over, but I'm with you. I tend to think it's going to stay under. Be a good one to see how this one turns out. Mindy and Ramon challenge over under versus the chat room.
yeah, and the series is in a massive over situation here, so everybody's going over, except Angel wants Panthers and under. So looks like we might be not.
I'm going to asterisk this one. Asterisk. I'm going to see how it plays out. Be interesting.
We're on the Rangers here. We're 2 for 2 tonight.
Yep, up to 7 consensus plays. I think Blake's working, so we didn't quite get our number over under, but that's about where we're normally at. So, all
right,
we're doing pretty good on a shorter card.
Sabres and Stars here. The Stars are down to $1.65. Maybe they were as high as $1.80 or so, and the total 6.5 over 20 right now.
Yeah,
just going a little bit higher here.
It's one of those, like for me, I'd play it at, the premium if it's minus 150. I don't normally like to go over that too much, but I tend to give it out here on this show. So I like the Stars here. Again, a little too much for me to give out to my subscribers. That doesn't mean I don't like it. It just means like, I think for my, what I do as a whole, I don't usually like to, throw out anything over 150, but today I like this. I'd almost even play it at that minus 175. I'm glad it went down for me. Stars 4-1 versus Sabres at home off 2 or more days rest here as well. Stars won 2 in a row, allowed, 0 goals in those games. So I'm going to take the Stars here.
Okay, I get it. But Buffalo's a pretty profitable team on the road. So I'm not going to be with you in this one. I'm going to instead look to the under in this one. You have Dallas 19-28. We know all about Ottinger if he is in goal here today, and they are also 3-7 to the under. Buffalo, of course, trends over. They do score some goals. We know that, but at 6.5, I'm willing to take the under in this one. Fuzzy says, "Is this Sabres and over?" Corday, I think he's wondering, maybe he's asking, are we going? I'm going under. I'm going under. Maybe there's some disagreement in the chat. So, yeah, talking about the back-to-back here for the Sabres. It wasn't back-to-back, though, was it? It was it just got to win. Got to win. That's what it is. So, okay. All right, Mindy, you're on Dallas. I'm on the under there. That's okay. Last game on the card here is between the Blue Jackets and the Flames. Flames, big favorite here. And right now, 3, 4, 5. And maybe I should put a minus in front of it. We know they're a big favorite against the Blue Jackets. What can you do with this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these for me. I don't like where the Flames are at minus, 360, 350 here in this one. I'd almost tend to maybe go to the Blue Jackets on the puck line, but then I don't really like that either. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under. It's 4-0. The Blue Jackets last four here, following a win. Under 4-1, the Flames last five home games. Because Flames are 1-2 over their last three here. So it's one of those, like, I'm not sure if I could ever take the Flames here on the puck line. I'd probably tend to go towards the Blue Jackets myself. But yeah, I'm going to go under this play.
Yeah, TJ, that comes into play. I mean, especially when you're getting many opportunities, but when you're, give someone the business privately, that's when it all changes. So, all right, yeah, for me, I'm going to go under with you, Mindy. I like this one definitely enough. We got to have 3 plays. I like it at 6.5. Wasn't necessarily going to be a premium here. Calgary, the price is just way too high. Even at 345, probably not way too high, but probably 20 or 30 cents too high, even against a bad Columbus right now. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the side necessarily, but I'm on the under with you, Mindy. Columbus 7-11 to the under on the road. Calgary 17-20, the under as a favorite, and we're looking at 6.5 here. Dave maybe is willing to take 2 goals or 2.5 goals as well, possibly. So I never mind plus 2.5 as long as it's nothing too crazy. As long as you keep it under, 190 or so in some of those cases, I don't mind. So percent better, kind of leaning with butterscotch. I might have missed butterscotches. No, I got it. Okay. He's on the puck line here. You look at puck line with these two, Columbus 19-18 as a puck line dog, and they're getting plus $1.25 or so. Calgary's a puck line favorite 17-20, and you got to lay close to $1.50. So I would say that the value is probably on the puck line of the Blue Jackets. Just I don't know. They're just not too trustworthy, period, right? As far as AC Spills here, good to see him today. So Fuzzy's totally down on Columbus here. So, all right, Mindy, we got 3 plays in hockey.
Yeah.
Gotta have 3 plays. I mean, we had an incredible weekend of hockey with the free picks. I mean, you don't even have to buy the picks. So anybody's disappointed about having to pay for picks with us, again, I mean, you could just take the free picks and then go with Mindy's records as we see on there, and really, I mean, double up on it at this point. So, all right. Great job, Mindy. Great show. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Great to see everyone in the chat today. Appreciate it. Short show. Kept it under 90 minutes. Jeez. Oh, well, that's because we had, a little bit of interference, I guess, and took me away from concentrating on the show. So that's why we had to get rid of our friend so I could focus on finishing the show. All right. Head on over to our website, tonyspicks.com. There you'll find our premium picks, absolutely our best picks every day over at Tony's Picks. Get ready to take your screenshots of it. And I'll just point out, if you don't want to pay for our picks, you're missing out. Hope you're doing great with your picks. But so far, Mindy up 1,659 units in 2023. So I don't know what you want. I mean, not everybody is a handicapper out there. Not everybody's the only capper and the best handicapper in the world, rhyming handicappers out there. So, and our picks here on the show up 3,300 units, absolutely free every day right here, giving out those picks. So here comes the hockey as well. Oh, did I miss the NBA? Sorry, Mindy. Take a screenshot of that, everybody. On our hockey, for sure. Take a screenshot and then send it out to your friends, maybe. I don't know. And in the NBA as well. Let's keep the winning going. Mindy, great job. Great show. Thanks, everybody. Catch you with more Morning Steam tomorrow. I guess we didn't have the biggest turnout today. I thought we might.
We did pretty good. We, had about, top 70s for most of the time. I'm pretty happy with that. But once the word gets out that we're the trashiest clown cappers around, I don't know if that's going to hurt or help our show, Ramon.
Yes, because of the tremendous following of the rhyming capper, because he's got all those followers. I mean, his NBA video where he actually had a good day, got 7 views, so you'd think he'd get more, but when you piss people off and stuff, it kind of ends any chance you got. So, all right, you guys. Thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Catch you tomorrow. More Morning Steam, Indy and I, 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.